Buckle up. It's time to get this show on the road. Here's your host, Jason Schaller. You're tuned in to the TRB Morning Drive, where we kickstart your day with a dose of freedom, firearms, and just the right amount of fun. Now grab your favorite liquid caffeine fix and buckle up. It's time to get this show on the road. Here's your host, Jason Schaller.
Good morning, everyone. This is a new one for me here. I am streaming to three places, and this was a little bit of a test from before. I do not know why this keeps doing this. Remove from scene. Come on. There. It's just working through some idiosyncrasies of EV Mux. And anyways, welcome to the TRB Drive. This is something I was been thinking about doing for a little bit, was playing around with earlier this week when you guys saw the live show. So I have, now 29 minutes before I got to log into my day job. And I was thinking, hey, it would be kind of fun to have a morning show for everybody's commute to work, since my commute from work is really from my bed to the studio here. So we're going to kick some things off here with a trivia question. We're going to talk about the answer to the trivia question at the bottom of the show. So today's trivia question is about the M41A pulse rifle from the movie Aliens. So that was actually made from three firearms. Can you guess what three firearms that was made from? As I said, we're going to answer that at the bottom of the show. And let's talk a little bit about news. We've had a lot of new stuff happening in the 2A community lately. And I want to kick off with the Supreme Court. They declined to hear, two major challenges. One was the Maryland's ban on so-called assault weapons. And that was, that actually let a ban of the AR-15 stand. The other one is, up in Rhode Island. It was a challenge to Rhode Island's ban on magazines over 10 rounds. So that these two set a dangerous precedent, right? So they allow gun bans to still happen, although not at the federal level. They can happen at the state level. So these are some pretty scary things that are going on out there, that we really need to make sure that we're paying attention. And I am sorry, I'm sitting here playing. I always have a problem streaming to Rumble. There it is. So this is, we've got some dangerous precedents that states can start trampling on your rights. And there's some funny things going on at the Supreme Court lately, right? So, one of my very big pet things is the 80%. So, the frame receiver rule. And they heard it, and it didn't go our way, right? Let's just put it that way. So one of the things I'm thinking here is that the Supreme Court has stopped making decisions based on actual law, right? And we're starting to see things based on fear. So we have the Supreme Court justices that are doing fear-based decisions. And I believe that's what frame and receiver rule was all about. It should have been about Chevron deference, right? So it was the government's overstepping, but it didn't. They decided to let that stand. So we got to be careful about some of these states now, right? We really need to watch these states, and this is really giving us the we're on our own kind of feel. So the lower court rulings were upheld because the Supreme Court did not hear it. So what they're going to do is they're going to start challenging some of these things through district courts that are, well, friendly to them, right? Hoping that the Supreme Court's not going to hear them to let everything stand. We need to be careful. I mean, we had dissenting Justice Thomas and Alito and Gorsuch um, said that they should have taken the cases. Thomas wrote that these bans were raised grave concerns about the Second Amendment. So we do have at least three justices out there that are making a little bit of sense. So the other one is the other thing in the news is we've been talking a lot about suppressors lately, and the suppressors being removed from the National Firearms Act. Now, this would basically eliminate the $200 tax stamp and really kind of keep the little shadow ban. I don't even say shadow ban because it's not even a real shadow ban because eventually you'll get it. That whole 1 year wait that we used to have, it basically kind of kills those, right? And it reclassifies the suppressors like a firearm accessory. But we got to be careful about this because this one's still going through. It could still leave them under the ATF and regulate them under the CGA, and then it that means it could be overturned later. So this still could be considered firearms, right? So earlier I did a video about talking about the Hearing Protection Act. It was a YouTube short and an Instagram reel that was um, about we have these very unfriendly gun countries that talk about they don't want you to have a gun, but they want you to have a suppressor when you shoot the gun because, well, it's just rude. Um, so we're still regulating suppressors, and as a lot of our lawmakers or overlords or the ruling class, they don't understand suppressors. So therefore, they oh my god, this is going to be perfectly silent, and then people are just going to drop it. No, it doesn't work that way. But we all know that. If you're listening to this, you already know that. So we got to watch that because it might be a slight win, but it's not the total win for suppressors. Um, and then we also have the DOJ Second Amendment Task Force that Pam Bondi, she announced back in April. Um, it's the idea was to push back on unconstitutional gun restrictions through litigation and policy. This actually scares me a little bit. I'll be honestly, on the surface, it sounds good, but what happens when, well, there's another election? We got to be careful about these executive orders and these task force because they're at the whim of whatever political party is in power at the time. So be careful about this. One of the thing is that Biden put in the zero tolerance for FFLs. And trust me, with me being an FFL, I was an FFL for 10 years. Um, you shouldn't be making mistakes. I'll be honest with you. You got to make sure your paperwork's, you know, it's done right. Mistakes happen, right? As long as it's not an egregious mistake. Mistakes happen, but he was making it so that it was like any mistake, you could lose your license. So, you could get down to the point where like somebody, you know, I don't know, misspelled their own name, right? We should be checking about that because it's got to match the ID. But or just made a stupid mistake, you could have lost your license. So so we got a lot of things we gotta watch for on the legal front because we got none of it is really like the golden bullet here. It's pretty scary there. We have Kurt out there. He's out on YouTube. took a glitch. Sorry. Let's see here. So I want to talk a little bit about gear here. I've got a lot of new stuff in. Some, because we are streaming to YouTube, I can't show you if it wasn't for that YouTube stream. Well, we're also streaming to Facebook. This is the first time ever that I have streamed to Facebook. So that's a new one for me. But let's talk about the gear that I can show you on these relatively unfriendly platforms. The first one I've been playing with is the IMETS Arena. I had Laser Ammo on the podcast. It was great talk with Laser Ammo. I have that, plus I have their, and I won't show it because, well, number one, I'd have to handle a firearm to do it. It's sitting here on the bench. I have their dry fire mag with the laser combo. Super cool product with this IMETS. So I've got 3 targets actually over there. So when I'm on, I'm on a meeting that I just need to work some stress out, and I don't have my camera on, I'll fire up the IMETS, and I'm just shooting a laser at these 3 targets, and it kind of randomizes the targets. It's really cool. Actually, I would start working on that during my workout when I get my cardio up, to start kind of working through shooting through Chrome. Anyways, cool product. You guys are going to see a review on it probably in about a month. I really like this product. This is definitely a cool one. The other one, it's let me grab it because it's over here. It might be really really not your thing, but it is for me. I got a new competition building, and I should have grabbed my old one before I did this. I'm even looking around trying to see if it's oh yeah, it is within arm's reach. So so this is my old one. As I pulled this off of I had it actually hanging on my vise on the bench. The inner belt fell out. So these are a 2-belt system. You have a Velcro belt that goes like actually in your belt loops, and then the outer belt, which this is, it hangs all of your mag in your holsters. What's different about this belt? It's pretty cool. It's still a 2-part system. I like the Velcro because it's not the standard Velcro. You'll see on my old belt, you'll see like, let me see if I can get the light. I can't do it because I got all the wrong lights on. But how like Velcro gets all the felt and stuff and eventually sucks. Their Velcro on this one's a little different. This one is actually from Falco. My good friends from Falco. I've been working with them, almost 4 years now. Totally cool. I love the Velcro, but what I like about this is on my other belt, I have this like other piece of Velcro. It's got to go over the front to keep the 2 from separating in the front. They put a second piece of Velcro on the front here. So when this thing wraps around and connects in like this, you wrap the Velcro back around and holds it. It's super cool. I can't wait to run this. This one just came in Friday. So yeah, it's cool. Also, this one's it's stiff, but not quite as stiff as my Ghost Holsters one. And yeah, that thing digs into your hips, and trust me, it's not comfortable when you get to the end of your day. So so we got some new gear in. That's just a taste of what's going on. I've got a gun on the bench that I'm trying to figure out how to word this. I've been working on that one for a little over a year. It's not going well. Let's just put it that way. There was this is the second frame from this particular company. And yeah, it's, I've talked to a few people that built off of this frame, and they've had similar issues, but not quite the issues I've had. So you're just going to have to wait to see that video. I'm actually thinking about bumping that one up because I got some other products that came in that are sitting on top of that I really want to run. So we do have a gun build coming. I don't know how that's going to play with YouTube policy. I'm trying to figure that one out myself. I think I can figure it out, but we will see. So let's talk a little bit about what you guys are building, man. If you're out there, drop it into the chat. If you're building something new, something special, if you're doing this on replay, drop it down in the comments. Let's see what everybody's building. It's springtime, man. We should be out there building and getting ready to go enjoy the nice weather. Let's see here. What else do we have going on? Let's talk a little bit about the community tab. So the community tab on YouTube, for those that have been watching this for the past, 3-4 months now, we've been doing a lot of work out on the community tab, and we've been doing polls and comments about things. And you guys, you guys been cracking me the hell up on some of these, on some of these polls. So let me share my screen out here, so you guys can see what's going on. So for those of you that are not on the YouTube side, I'm sorry. This is where I can do some of the stuff. I'm working on trying to figure it out for other platforms. Let's see here. Share. At the scene. Here we go. Let's bring this up. So this is the YouTube community tab. Wow, that is small. So we have these questions here, like, you've got your favorite firearm on the bench and a little bit of cash in your pocket. What upgrade are you itching to do first? And well, most of you said that it's going to be optics or sights at 64%. 22% of you are going after the crappy trigger in your Glock. And then 7% split evenly between barrel and grip controls. So 58 of you have answered this, and this was less than a day old. But what cracks me up, like I said, is the comments. So we've got Robert Shaver is looking for a 2 liter bottle of Coke. Somebody has been watching some 1980s Steven Seagal on that one, right? Only I think it was a milk jug in that movie. Use your imagination, everybody. Duct tape and a 2 liter bottle of Coke. And then the goddamn bacon came up with easy snack dispenser. You never know. It could save lives. You're right, man. It could save lives. And a snack dispenser, I will tell you, is an important thing to have, especially when you have a larger platform like an AR and a lot of M-lock slots. This is what I'm saying, guys. You guys are absolutely killing me out there with these questions, because I read these things and I just laugh at what you guys are coming. So for those of you who don't know how to get to this, it's youtube.com/@theroguebanshee/community. So you can see these polls and quizzes that are going on. Right here is my video from my YouTube short from the other morning. And then, of course, yes, my new Falco holster. This is my Dan Wesson Model 15 in this. I absolutely love this chest rig. Honestly, going back a few months ago, I would not have worn something like this. I would have been kind of self-conscious because, let's just say, I was going to spill out over the top and out from underneath the bottom. But hey, look, it's things are coming along. I do like this holster. I think it's cool. It's going to be definitely helpful when I'm out in the woods. We also have the other question from this week. Stay tuned. There's one tomorrow. What makes you step back after a project and think, damn, that was worth it? I've had a few going the other way, like, damn, what the hell did I do? Or why catching up on comments here. What are gun range or gun license prices going for nowadays? I don't know because I don't shoot at a gun range, and there is no licenses here in Montana. Somebody else has some insight to that question for Chris Reed, please drop it in. So yeah, we just don't. I'd love to answer that question for you, but I live in a free state and we just don't have gun licenses here. The only gun license I've had ever actually was my FFL when I was a gun dealer, and my concealed carry permit. And I still have a concealed carry permit here, even though we have I don't want to say constitutional carry. I get corrected by this, and I agree with what they were saying. It is permitless carry here in Montana. It's not true constitutional carry. So, but I do keep my concealed carry permit, which allows me to carry in other states, even though we have permitless carry here. It also allows me to carry in certain places in Montana that you're not allowed to. This is why it's not constitutional carry, because I am still restricted from carrying unless I have a concealed carry permit in Montana. So with a permit, I'm allowed to carry inside a state of Montana building. Without a permit, not allowed. Also, the same thing with banks. So sorry, Chris, I don't have an answer for you. If anybody else has a comment, please help Chris read out on that one. It'd be interesting to hear what you guys are paying out there. For me, I shoot out in the national forest. If I want to join a gun range, one of the outdoor ranges here, I think the rates just went up on one of the ranges to, I think, like $55 a year to go shoot at the outdoor range. We do have an indoor range here, but I've never shot at it. They're not going to let me do the stuff I need to do. It's very, since it's indoor range, they got some pretty strict rules. Plus, when I start pulling out cameras and stuff, I just realized I'm still on the question as I am talking away here. It's one of those things of I just don't shoot there. It just doesn't match how I shoot. So definitely think about that. Why is this thing? There we go. So anyways, we are getting down to the thing, down to the bottom of the show, or what I like to say, the time I got to log into my day job and actually earn a living. So we have a lot of stuff of going out there. Definitely go out and think about going to that community tab and checking out what we're doing out there as a community, because we're trying to work a lot of things out, try to help people out, have people help each other out on trying to stay free and do the stuff that, well, a lot of people don't want us to do, but yet it's not illegal. Well, I mean, I guess some states there's some legal issues, but it's still not federally. It's still not illegal. So with the last few minutes here, let's talk about the trivia question. Earlier, I asked you about the M41A pulse rifle from the movie Aliens. Definitely one of the coolest sci-fi guns, at least I think it is. What was that made of? It was actually made of taking multiple guns and putting them together. So the answer is the body of it was a Thompson M1A submachine gun. Up front, we had a Remington 870 shotgun for the grenade launcher. And then a Franke SPAS 12 heat shield. Just for the coolness factor, right? So this is really cool where they're taking multiple guns, putting them together to make a movie prop. And it's definitely kind of the sci-fi pop culture there for that gun. So one thing I'm going to do here is we're going to start doing these on Tuesdays and Thursdays as long as I don't oversleep. and I'm not running to my day job because I don't work out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I work out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we're going to do these on these things. So on those 2 days. So think of questions you guys want and drop them at askjason@trb.fyi. Drop questions, comments, drop them there at that email address and let me know, and we'll start answering during the morning drive. It is currently 5:56 here. Got just a little under 4 minutes before I got to log in. So let me know in the last few minutes here if you're not driving. Drop it in the chat. Let me know. Let me know what your morning commute is. If you are driving, drop it in the comments later, and let's see. Let's see what your morning commute this Thursday morning looks like. So with that, I'm going to wrap up here. I hope you guys are all staying safe out there, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.